Alright, what up YouTube? So today the title gave it away, the board gave it away. Today we're going to talk about what my training schedule looks like. What does it mean when I go train? What exactly does that entail? So as you may or may not have known, I was on a training schedule. I think on a GZCL training schedule. And so when I'm saying schedule, I really meant program. So this program is essentially a 12-week program. It's more of a strength-based program where you're trying to increase your maximal lifts. So your bench, your squat, your deadlift, your OHP, which is overhead press. And you're trying to make them and become as strong as you possibly can to be able to lift as much as you can. That being said, right now I am off season. I'm essentially bulking. I tend to be more lean, right? Because I personally like to be lean while I'm bulk. So it's like a small bulk, you know, I'm going up slowly. I'm taking my time. I'm not a big fan of gaining a whole bunch of weight at once just to gain some muscle. Even if you're gaining some muscle, because then you do have to eventually get rid of the fat that does come along with a regular bulk. And so I'm not a big fan, so I don't do it, but you're more than welcome to do that if that is what you like to do. So what I'm doing now is essentially I'm trying to get on a more strength and hypertrophy program. So yes, I'm trying to get some strength because I have competed and I do compete and I plan to compete in powerlifting in the future, but I'm also trying to gain some size, gain some muscle while I'm at it. Because personally, that's more of a aesthetic, that's where I want to be. That's personally what I want to, that's one of my goals. To do that, to be able to gain muscle and to gain strength, I'm going to be running a program called Jacked and Tan. Now I want to backstep real quick because I did throw out the word hypertrophy, and so if you aren't familiar with that word, essentially just means cell growth. And so when you are building muscle, your muscle cells in particular, they grow, they become larger. They don't grow more because then that would be hyperplasia. They just get bigger. So that's how you can get an enlarged heart. That's how you can get bigger muscles or get swole, whatever you want to call it. So the program that I was talking about, it's called Jacked and Tan 2.0 in particular, and it's right here, right? And so if you are looking for this, just go ahead and Google it. There's a bunch of Reddit sites. There's a whole bunch of other different sites that'll give you a sheet on Excel where you just put in your weights and then you're good to go for like the entire weeks and weeks of it. And it's a good program that I actually would recommend that works. And it's one of those programs that you don't just have to be a novice to do it. You can be more experienced and still get gains from it, right? I say that because there are a lot of programs out there that tend to focus and tend to be more useful for novices than for, intermediate individuals. Now, that doesn't mean that the programs don't work or anything like that. It just means that sometimes you need to be a little bit more personalized with your training and with your programs. And sometimes these very basic general outlines of how to work out and how to do this, how to do that, just aren't good enough and they don't cut it. But that's a conversation and a topic for a different time. I want to talk about Jacked and Tan in particular. Once you have the program, it's going to be an Excel sheet, right? Jacked and Tan 2.0 is going to come up as an Excel sheet where you literally just type in what your weights are for your squat, your bench, your deadlift, and your OHP, like I mentioned. And so we're talking about mine in particular. And so actually today, I actually tested my 2-rep max. Now, I tested them all in one day, so that's a bad idea. You do not do that, okay? You don't test them all in one day, especially like me, in under an hour. When you have an actual powerlifting meet, you do this around an entire day. Yes, you do it a couple more times, right? But you have plenty of time to rest. I didn't have the adequate time to rest, but, life happens. I have things to do, so I wasn't able to do it in individual days or even group them into or anything like that. And so today I had to do it because for the coming days I'm not going to be in town. I'm going to be visiting my family, and so I'm not going to be able to get to a gym to do this. So that being said, I was able to squat 315 twice. I think that was pretty much it. And bench 225 twice. Now for the bench, my hands were I was a little unbalanced, to tell you the truth. I felt that I could have done more. I think I could have hit 230, 235 for 2, but it just didn't feel like it. I didn't feel it that day. It's fine. It's not a big deal. 355 is what I got on deadlift, which honestly, that's actually, it's below. Last time I did it, I got 385. This time I got 355. And the reality is, it dropped because I had just squatted 315. So I've never in my life have squat more than 315, period. This time I did it for 2 reps. That's more than I've ever done. When I started my previous program, I only hit this one time, and that was a struggle. We definitely made some leg gains, but killed me, and you can see because the deadlift was just not there. OHP was okay, I guess. I mean, I got 140 for 2. We're not that concerned with the OHP, but we do want to make sure that we are getting that proportion. So we are hitting everything. We are hitting chest. We're hitting shoulders. We're hitting leg. Everything really. And so I did this, and my body weight, I think like 2 days ago I weighed in, or yesterday I weighed in like at a 152-ish. And so, like I said, when I did compete, I competed around 145. So I'm a couple pounds over of what I competed, and I'm completely cool with that. Like I mentioned before, slowly going up. We're slowly trying to bulk up to 160. And so we're trying to go and take a long time to do. We're not trying to do it in 1 day. We're not trying to do it in 3 months, even in 6 months. We're going for a long period. So one of the best parts of this program that I'm gonna run is the fact that they divide everything into tiers. So this would be our tier 1. Our tier 2 would be some sort of variation of this. And then tier 3 would be purely accessories. And so what's great is that there is linear progression throughout the entire program, which is 12 weeks long. So it's a 3-month program. It's a quarter of a year, so you will definitely make some good gains on it if you are consistent and you stick through it and you don't cheat, right? That's the most important part, that you do every rep, because at first you're going to have very high reps of these, right? Of this tier 1, and then you're going to have maybe not as high of tier 2, you're not going to have as many reps of them. But then as you get higher and as you get less reps of the tier 1, you're going to get more tier 2 reps and tier 3 reps and things like that, And so that's where a lot of the volume is going to come in. That's why you're going to make some hypertrophy gains as well, right? And not just strength gains, because you will make the regular strength gains, because you will be increasing your increments every single week of their tier 1. And so those are just some of the reasons why I really like them. This program in particular. Another huge reason is that tier 2 is very customizable. So this is tier 1, done. Tier 2 is some sort of variation. So maybe not squats, maybe I'm gonna do front squats, box squats, tempo squats, bench, close grip, paused, etc., deadlift, paused deadlift, Romanian, anything really. And that ability to customize it is great, because especially in power building, you can identify and see like, oh, I have trouble getting out of the hole in my squats, maybe I should work on this. I can't finish, or I can't lock it out in my deadlift, so maybe I'm gonna have my tier 2 be tailored to that. So that's customizability is great. It's a 12-week program, so it's going to be 3 months. And so I will be continuing my blogging and my posts and everything. So go ahead and give us a like if you liked this video, dislike if you didn't like the video, and go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back real soon with some actual progress on this program. Thanks for watching.